Hey everybody, and welcome to the Mega Master League. This is a Master League format where Megas, Mythicals, Legendaries are allowed. And today, we're going to be taking a look at Mega Salamence. Mega Salamence with Dragon Tail, Outrage, and Fly is proven to be forced to be reckoned with in the Mega Master League. To round out the rest of the team, we're going to be using Crown Form Zacian on the lead and Palkia in the back. So we're basically an ABB style format team in the Mega Master League. So let's go ahead and get right into battles. Up in the first match, we have Zacian versus Mega Gyarados, a pretty good lead right there, as Mega Gyarados is able to not do super effective with the triple versus the Dragon Breaths, and able to have to deal with the super effective close combat, but actually good in front of close combat, but actually decided to go for a Behemoth play right there. A total misplay on my part, as I checked the calcs afterwards, and CC doesn't actually quite kill them, so they can actually leave this live in close combat. That's perfectly fine though, as we can easily just farm to almost a two close combats right there, and going for a CC right there, it connects, and in comes Zacian Crown. They're opposing Zacian Crown, going for a CC right here, opening to get a shield or do some massive damage. It connects, actually just get a shield right there, doesn't connect right there, so apologies on my commentary right there. In comes Palkia, going for the Aqua Tail right here, big damage right there, and going for another Aqua Tail, as we're already at another Aqua Tail. Palkia, with his new Dragon Breath rework, is so spammy this season, as Dragon Breath does do less damage but generates more energy, as it's basically like a Sidewave clone now, which is nice. And in comes Reshiram, and in comes Mega Salamence. Gonna shield the Fusion Flare right there, and gonna go for a Fly right here, as Outrage will pretty much just it will knock it out, but it will just be an overkill. That's perfectly fine. Going for a Fly right there, and can we get to 2 flies? Gonna throw on good timing right there, and going for the Fly right here. Can we get the final shield? We do get the final shield, but can we get to the Fly in time? But actually, for some reason, the game made me over tap, but I don't think it would have mattered anyway, as the Fly wouldn't killed anyway, as Zacian Crown Form Zacian is very bulky due to his Fairy Steel typing. So anyways, hop in the next match. We have Zacian versus Zacian. You're gonna see this a lot, as there's a lot of these mirrors out there, as Zacian Crown is the best Pokemon in the Master League format, as able to farm to the Behemoth Blade right there. I'm gonna shield up the CC, but they actually decide to go for Behemoth Blade and go for a CC, but they actually swap and catch on the Palkia, able to deal massive damage from the CC right there, and going for another CC right here, and hoping we can swap into the Palkia right here and get the farm down in time. But they actually get to the Spatial Run in time, so I thought to myself, what if I just shield this and just farm this down? Which we do. We're able to shield the Spatial Run, no problem, and able to get the farm down, leaving with an Aqua Tail, and in comes Mega Gyarados. Mega Gyarados is a beast in this format, so I think in these battles we'll see, I think every battle will have Mega Gyarados, because Mega Gyarados is basically on every single team in this format. Spatial Rank connects right there, and the Gyarados is forced throw. Mega Gyarados goes for a crunch right there. I think the Aqua Tail would have been fine to kill from right there. I just didn't know the calcs or whatever. So going for a crunch right there, and in comes Zacian Crown, and we swap back into Zacian Crown form as we simultaneously swap. They actually go for a CC right there, and I thought to myself, can I actually throw 3 Dragon Tails to not throw an alignment? I'm going for a Fly right there. Fly does kill, and can we get to Fly in time? We're able to get to Fly in time. Mega Salamence proving its new pacing with Dragon Tail, as Dragon Tail does do less damage but generates more energy. So GG to my opponent right there. Hop in the next match, we have Zacian versus Ho-Oh. Bad lead right there, as we do have to save up into the Palkia, and look at that. Look, with the new Dragon Breath rework, we're already at the Aqua Tail, and able to bait with the Aqua Tail up against the Dialga. Dialga decided to shield a potential Spatial Run, but they actually fell for the bait right there. And I thought to myself, is this enough for Aurora time? It's actually just for an Iron Head, and that's perfectly fine. Able to go for a Spatial Run right there, able to do some massive damage right there. And can we get the farm down? No, we cannot. As you can see right there, we're almost got another Aqua Tail off. So Palkia proving to be a very spammy dragon this season. Dialga goes for an Iron Head right there, and Zacian able to get the Metal Claw down. And in comes Mega Salamence, and in comes Mega Gyarados. And like I said last battle, every one of these battles will pretty much have a Mega Gyarados in them, as every single team has a Mega Gyarados, as it's just the best Pokemon in the format. Mega Gyarados, going for an Aqua Tail right here, and I thought to myself, it's just another Aqua Tail. I know Dragon Breath does do more energy now, but another Aqua Tail right there, that's perfectly fine, and we have plenty enough health to deal with the Hollow right here, as we just need to go for double outrages. Double outrage to pretty much prove the win con right there, able to get the final shield right there, and can we shield this off? So I thought to myself, if I do get a deal with this from the Sacred Fire, do I have to bank? And yes, I do. So we have to bank the outrage, and going back in the Zacian Crown form, able to connect with the Behemoth Blood right there, and they do get the farm done, but Mega Salamence does win CP over Hollow. Mega Salamence proving to be a deadly sweeper in this battle right here. Mega Salamence able to connect with the outrage right there, and that is a good game. Hop in the next match, we have Zacian Crown form Zacian was a Crown form Zacian. That's perfectly fine, as we can just easily just stand right here and just do massive damage with our moves. I'm going for a Behemoth Blade right there. Behemoth Blade will get a shield right here, which it does. And can we go for a CC in time? We do decide to have to shield us up because our backline does not want to see this thing. Going with Zacian Crown, going for a CC right there. We're able to get to our own close combat in time, hoping we could get the final shield, which we do. And we can just easily let this go. As the Zacian is not able to farm us down in time, we can just easily bring the Palkia in and do massive damage with this. And able to bring the Palkia in, and they actually decide to outpace the CC before we get to the Aqua Tail, and the CC does connect. And I probably should have overwhelmed a bit more since they just threw their energy, but that's perfectly fine, as we do want to get rid of this Zacian right there. And in comes yet again, as you know it, another Mega Gyarados. Mega Gyarados able to connect with the crunch right there. Defense the debuff with a 20% chance, and in comes Kyurem right here, and we do have the outrage right there. Outrage will connect and take out the Kyurem. And can we get to another outrage in time? Yes, we can. Mega Salamence proving its bulkiness in the Mega Mastery right there. It make damage, able to connect with the big outrage right there, and we can just easily just shield this up and get the win. Able to Palkia, able to get the farm done in time, and that is a good game. Hop in the next match, battle lead, we're going to swap into Palkia, and in comes our own Palkia. And that's perfectly fine right here, as we can just easily just build up and bait with the Aqua Tail. Aqua Tail able to get the first shield right there, and I thought to myself, can I get both shields if they decide to do the spatial run? But they actually decide to go for their bait too, and we do decide to shield, and that's perfectly fine. We go for the spatial run right there, hoping to get a kill or the second shield, and we do decide to get the second shield. Going for an Aqua Tail right here, and it does connect right there, but it's actually a CMP tie, as we are best buddy equipped on our Palkia. Palkia able to die from the spatial run right there, and in comes Zacian Crown form. Zacian Crown form is able to get the farm done with the Metal Claws right there. And in comes Mega Salamence once again, and in comes yet again another Mega Gyarados. My, how many Mega Gyarados have we seen in these battles so far? Yeah, like as I said before and over again, this is the best Pokemon in the format. If you don't have any other Megas, use this Pokemon. It's truly a beast. Anyways, Salamence able to connect with the outrage right there. Aqua Tail does get shielded right there, and that's perfectly fine, as we do decide to get the farm down in time. And in comes back Shadow Hollow. Shadow Hollow able to get blasted with the outrage from the Mega Salamence right there, and that is a good game. And able to collect the 4-1 right there, and we're on to the next set. Hop in the next match, we have Zacian versus Zamazenta. That's perfectly fine, as they're on Ice Fang instead of Metal Claw, and they do have the same pacing as us, so that's perfectly fine. Behemoth Blade, that's perfectly fine, and we can just easily go for back-to-back CCs right here. One CC won't be enough to kill, but we can just easily go for another CC. We do decide to do one and throw just in case they do decide to catch. Perfectly fine. Zacian going for a CC right here, and I thought to myself, I can just let this go and go into Palkia. Palkia with this much energy will be really good in the back. And let's see what is in the back. It's Mega Rayquaza right here, and I actually made a brutal mistake here. I should not have gone for the Aqua Tail bait. They actually decided to call the Aqua Tail bait right there, and my regret is that I should have went for the spatial run, and they would have no shield right here. and they actually decide to let go of the second Aqua Tail, and in comes Mega Salamence. Gonna shield the Breaking Star here as Mega Rayquaza does hit hard, and in comes Origin Palkia. Origin Palkia able to get hit with this fly from the Mega Salamence. Mega Salamence disconnect with the fly right there, and can we get the front out in time? I just hope I don't get baited right here. They do decide to bait. Can we get the front out in time beside even when debuff? But they actually get to move in time. Is it a spatial right in time? It is a spatial right in time, and that pretty much kind of loses me this game. Can we get the front out in time? So close right there, and they actually leave on 1 HP right there. So a pretty hard misplay on my part. So I shouldn't have baited right there. Hop in the next match. Zacian Crown versus Zacian Crown right here. As the game plan is before, we have to build up, keep building up and staying in, as they are best buddied on, and this Zacian is best buddied, so we do have to decide to throw early. As we will lose CMP right there. Excuse me right there. Gonna show up the CC right here, or the Behemoth Blade. CC does come through, going for another CC right here, as we do decide to put out the final shield right here, and we do decide to throw a CC right here, and hoping to get a shield or get switched. They actually do decide to shield right here, and can we get far down in time? But they actually decide to throw right here. Perfectly fine. Zacian going for the close combat right here, and in comes Mega Salamence, and look at all this far Mega Salamence is getting. Mega Salamence, what's the deal with that back? And in comes Mega Gyarados, and I thought to myself, instead of one arrow killing, does 2 flies kill? Let's test that out. 2 flies able to connect right here, and we're able to put this thing into the second fly range. Crunch able to get connected right there, and in comes Palkia, and Palkia gonna be hit with his outrage. Big damage right there, and in comes Palkia up against Mega Gyarados right here. That Palkia absolutely got smithereen from the beastly outrage from the Mega Salamence, and able to do big damage up against this Mega Gyarados right here. Mega Gyarados gets far enough from the Palkia, and that is a good game. Hop in the next match, picking up an okay lead Zacian into Mega Ampharos. Mega Ampharos does have access to Thunder Punch, as Metal Claw is resisted due to electric typing on Mega Ampharos. Mega Ampharos can easily just shield that up, and I thought to myself, do I actually live this? I actually don't live that, which is hilarious. So, and they actually do decide to throw another move right here. Is it enough the Dragon Pulse? It is enough the Dragon Pulse right there, as Dragon Pulse they get a buff this season. And in comes Crown Form Zacian, and in comes Palkia Origin. Palkia Origin able to connect with the Aqua Tail right here. Aqua Tail does do some big damage, and we can easily just let this go right here. But it does actually have play off right there, and that loses me the game. It was close combat, then I pretty much would have had a chance to win this game to whatever was in the back, and had some help from my Palkia Origin. Fly does connect right here, but it doesn't really matter in the end right here, as we can just shield this up. Behemoth Blade, Play Rough, yeah, the Play Rough is also another move people can run in this format due to a lot of Mega Dragons out there. And in comes Zekrom, and yeah, there's no way to win this game right here. If I had a shield and they were down shields, this pretty much would have been, I think it would have been a pretty winnable game if they had no shields, but that's perfectly fine. So GG's to my opponent right there. Hop in the next match, we have up against Golden Boy Kga, a content creator on Twitch and a fellow streamer, and another, as you know, with another Crown Formation lead. Crown Formation lead, as again, we can just easily just farm right here. We do decide to shield with the Behemoth Blade, and we can just easily, and they actually bring out Mega Swampert, and Mega Salamence is here to wall all of Mega Swampert's energy, as nothing will pretty much threaten the Mega Salamence right here. Hydro Cannon, Earthquake, Sludge do no damage up against the Mega Salamence, as Mega Salamence has very good stats. Mega Salamence, we're gonna throw one right there, and gonna go for the Outrage. Outrage does connect right there, takes out the Mega Swampert, and in comes Crown Form Zacian. Crown Form Zacian gonna be hit with this fly right here. This fly does connect for some big damage right there, and able to do massive damage with the fly. They're forced to throw, as they're not able to get the farm down, as I will be able to get to another fly, and they do decide to CC right there. And I do decide to go into my Palkia Origin, and they actually have their own Palkia Origin, and my guess is that if I had to win this game, I have to start baiting in this matchup right here. Baiting, but they actually decide to call the Aqua Tail bait right there, and am I in trouble? And I guess I'm in trouble right here. Palkia going for the Aqua Tail right there, and Aqua Tail Aqua Tail does decide to get shielded right there and able to catch the Spacial Rend on one Dragon Breath right there, able to catch the Spacial Rend, and I think I just found my win con right here, able to get to the back-to-back close combat right here. CC will take out the Palkia right there, Palkia going on right there, and all we need to do just get to another CC and another CC, as they do have the final shield. CC does connect to get the final shield right here, and able to get the CC in time. Zacian Crown form, able to get the win, proving to be a really dominant match league Pokemon. So GG's to K-Gar right there. Hopping in the final match of the video, we have Zacian Crown up against Primal Kyogre. So swapping into the Palkia right here, as we do have two answers in the back to Primal Kyogre, and in comes Zacian Crown. And look at this matchup right here. You may think Palkia may lose this because Dragon Breath does less damage now, and Dragon Breath is triple resisted. Palkia actually wins the 2 shield up against Crown from Zacian, as Palkia is able to spam these Aqua Tails like there's no tomorrow right here. The opponent's actually running Player Off, so that's perfectly fine, as Player Off does, I think, costs more, if I recall. I don't know, I have to double check that, but Palkia going for the Aqua Tail right here. Aqua Tail does get the final shield right there, and we do get to another Aqua Tail, and it is a CMP tie, as Palkia is able to win the 2 shield up against a Fairy Steel type. Look at this, a Fairy Steel type losing to a Dragon type. How hard can it be? And in comes Zamazenta. Zamazenta is carrying Ice Fang, so all we need to do is to go for these Aqua Tails right here. Aqua Tail does decide to connect right there, and able to get to another Aqua Tail as Palkia Origin, proving his dominance in the match league right here, and able to go down to Ice Fangs. In comes Crown Formation, as Crown forms Zamazenta with its Ice Fangs. This bullies Mega Salamence, and Salamence doesn't want to deal with the Ice Fang. Able to go for a double CC right there. It takes out my Crown Formation. It comes back Primal Kyogre. Primal Kyogre does a lot of damage with these waterfalls right here, and so are we. This outrage will pretty much do big damage right here, and can we get the farm done in time? They did for farm to 10 right here. Is this the Blizzard in time? No, it's actually Thunder. I'm surprised they don't have Blizzard, and that's perfectly fine. Fly, we do have the Fly, and Fly will be enough to take out the Zamazenta right there, and that is a good game. So all in all, what do I think about Mega Salamence in the Mega Match League? To be honest, I do like it, but you could also run Brutal Swing on it. I decided to run Outrage on it just for like a lot of closing power, and like up against backline dragons. As you saw in these battles, like we saw Kieran and the Palkia absolutely get nuked by an Outrage. You could run Brutal Swing Fly. I just didn't want to, because Outrage is a community move from 2019, I think, and I didn't want to TM it off. And I do use this Mega Salamence for raids, so I definitely don't want to TM it off and only TM it again for raids. So anyways, yeah, Mega Salamence is a beast. Like, it does wall the primals. It does well against most of the meta, but you just have to look out for fairy types, because fairy types are absolutely everywhere. As you saw in these battles, Crown Forms Zacian is actually everywhere in this format. So as long as you have proper counters to Crown Forms Zacian when team pairing up with Mega Salamence is a force to be reckoned with, as it's definitely a Pokemon worth running. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, I'll see you guys all in the next one.